being able to say that you helped put together a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity was really a big factor for why I wanted to push to go.
Being able to go 5,000 miles away to teach other officers and teach the trainer, to be able to have other officers to be able to go home to their families is just so important to me.
So being able to go and help build something that hopefully in a few years we're able to look back and say we helped with that, I don't think you can have a better takeaway. I mean, getting to meet all those guys and work with them as equals, not just as instructors and students, was rewarding.
We had coordinated with the local embassy, coordinated with local authorities. We had some plans in the background in the event that there had been, because geopolitically there were a lot going on during that time. The American embassy in Lithuania actually had received a series of prisoners from Belarus. So there was, again, a lot going on. We had a handful of phone calls. Their embassy staff were just extremely helpful. But yeah, just making sure that they were okay and that we were well informed that if in the event we had to get out of there that we could. But everything ended up going very well.
Hey, we're gonna send somebody out.
So we had us, the Germans, Lithuanians, Latvians, and Estonians. So we had 4 different languages, well, 5 different languages we were having to fight through.
Did we radio it in?
Obviously we don't speak very good English anyway because we're from Kentucky, so that was a hard thing for them to do, for the Lithuanian translators to work with, because our accents were kind of throwing them off sometimes, and some of our vernacular they didn't really comprehend, and some of our, I can't think of what it is, idioms, they didn't understand either, so we had to kind of figure out a way to break that down even further.
And we don't understand that is
that sound.
Shooting sounds.
Yeah.
Right. So I do that purposely.
You know, in a short period of time, we had folks from all these different countries, all these different backgrounds, different languages, but really the one thing I think that really brought everything together very quickly is that we all have the same public safety mission, and kind of that brotherhood or sisterhood was just so evident so quickly. Within a day, you could see just the level of attentiveness from the students to the instructors, and that back and forth, that play between them and the engagement, I was really impressed with, because just right off the bat, they knew that they were there to learn, they were doing a great job teaching, and that engagement was just so impressive. And then how the students would take elements of what they were talking about, and then they would turn inward into their own languages. They would be discussing what was significant. But just to see, knowing that there were so many potential obstacles, that really kind of dissipated, because again, everybody was just so focused on just how significant the content of the training was. It was impressive to watch.
The fact that we were, again, having to put together some of these things on the fly was also kind of showcasing to them, like, you can do this with minimal effort, with minimal classroom accessories, and being able to present it in that way so that, every department is kind of the same. This is a fairly new concept for them that they're trying to get pushed through.
We didn't have training aids that we thought we were going to have, so we had to improvise. So whenever we were doing wound packing, we actually went to a local butcher shop and had them buy whole pork roasts, and we were taking knives and stabbing that so that way they could see different wound paths and trajectories and how they would pack that.
We call this a Lithuanian special.
But like with needle decompression, we went out and got a rack of ribs, showed them placement-wise on a person where they would do it, and then actually practice on the rack of ribs how to actually do the needle decompression.
You can just go out and buy a $20 ham and you've got everything you need. Being able to present that to their command as, hey, we can do this, and we can do this very efficiently, low budget, was a big selling point to them as well.
Basically, we weren't going to let this tear our city apart.
Karina did a fantastic presentation, case study on the old National Bank shooting, and that was the first day we were there. And they're instructors, we were instructors. They were kind of trying to get a feel for us as far as, why are these guys really here? Is this going to be pertinent? not in a rude manner, just like every student has when they first start a class. Is this really something I'm going to enjoy? Is this something I'm going to get anything out of? And you can literally see a change in their demeanor through that presentation because it went from us talking about concepts to this is us actually doing this, and her having her body cam footage up there as part of the video, demonstrating that you can literally see them from sitting in the back of their seat to going on the edge of their seats, paying attention, realizing, oh, these guys aren't just here to teach us. These guys have lived this, they have done this, they know what they're talking about. And it was just really incredible to see the entire aura of that room change as she's giving that demonstration.
Stop, put your hands up, put your hands up, don't run. Put the gun down, put the gun down, right now, drop the gun, drop the gun, put your gun.
It was almost like the trauma factor. I gave the case study, and I also gave like 2024 statistics of our violent crime rate. And one of the students after, she came up to me and she said, "You live in a movie. Those sound like fake stories." And I was like, "No, these are our everyday runs. Unfortunately, like not the active shooter, but our violent crime stats. Those are our everyday runs." And she just couldn't believe it. She was just in shock.
Grab a med bag! Med bag!
Realizing that experiences are different, the fact that they have like 2 shootings a year in that entire country, and we have, depending on how many what year it is, depending on how many we have every year, just knowing that our experiences aren't theirs, and maybe because our experiences aren't the same as theirs, there might be a little bit of a learning gap. So just being patient with that, and them coming to realize that we're not just living in a Hollywood movie, that we're basing this off training, experience, and exposure, that we can still hopefully impart things to them, even when it seems like it's not real to them in a way.
Cody, give me a med bag, give me some goals. Cody, go ahead.
It was stuff that we've done. It was stuff that she had done. And being able to present that in a manner that, again, we weren't just instructors who had a theoretical knowledge of this. This was something that we all implement, really kind of ran home, while we were there.
We've taught our officers. There was a video that I showed of one of our officers applying a tourniquet, and then the secondary assessment, and I'm like, we taught this, and then we taught this, and we teach, this is why we teach this. And it's like, oh, the light bulb moment happened, she forgot to put her gloves on, but she's doing it now, and you can, even though the steps didn't happen in the right order, you can still do this. And as long as we were able to tell them the why, they loved it. They were so passionate, so enthusiastic. They wanted more. Every day that we were there, we had very strict time limit because we were only there for a certain amount of time, and we went over every day because they just had so many questions and they wanted to do more. We would have stayed till dark every day if they would have let us.
We would go out to dinner and they would still ask us questions and pick our brains about different concepts and different things that we had covered.
Is this building secure yet? Why are we moving people through a building that's not secure? Clear it!
I think for the first couple minutes, they possibly felt like maybe we were picking on them, or maybe just trying to purposely make it hard. But we're like, no, this is how we train. This is how we do it.
It was meant to be chaotic. It is going to be a little chaotic. You guys are not used to this kind of structure, and with the language barrier, this is why we're repping it out and we're doing multiple of these.
Come on, guys!
And we didn't really amp it up that much more than what we do for our people. It was actually probably a couple of clicks back on the dial. So just seeing them finally embrace the chaos that we were presenting to them, especially there toward the very end, because they had a bunch of medical students from the CONUS clinic that were coming down for role players. So we had them all moulaged up and role playing, and just seeing them go from a crawl stage where everything was just pure chaos all the way up to finally putting the pieces together as we ran multiple repetitions, and then kind of embracing everything that we were throwing at them was awesome to see.
They welcomed us with open arms. They treated us like family. I can't explain that any better. We met lifelong friends. They treated us like family. Every night they took us to a big dinner. They took time from their own families and made sure that we felt welcome. Just outside of the classroom, it was a once in a lifetime experience.
They're very active. I mean, we walked everywhere. I forget how many miles we walked that week.
It was over 50 miles.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
That
we walked
Sunday was 10 miles long.
Yeah, we walked everywhere we went. We would go into the city, we would park, and we would walk the rest of the day.
They really brought us in, as she said, with open arms, and just shared their very proud country for a lot of really significant reasons. And they shared all kinds of culture with us. So they showed us lots of historical areas, parts of the city.
Yeah, they walked us around like the city, and they showed us how they fought to keep their country a country, and how Lithuania almost was taken over, and that was very, very surreal and very humbling to realize how lucky we are that we never had to go through something like that, because this was just what, back in the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the museums we went to, like, people remember this, and they were like, oh, I was this age when this happened, and it was very humbling.
I think one of the really incredible things, again, being so far removed from that side of the world and that conflict of Russia and communism throughout the years, was one of the museums we went to back in the 80s. From Estonia through Latvia down to Lithuania, they made the world's longest human chain as a peaceful protest against Russia and against communism. And so we're kind of viewing this, and we're looking at the photos, and we're reading the transcripts for it. Like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And one of the gals that was in the class from Estonia was like, oh, I remember this. And we're like, oh, like learning about this, or like, vaguely remember seeing it. And she goes, no, that's a picture of my sister, my mom, and I right there. She had been there. She was a part of that history. And so it's a very recent event for them that they haven't forgotten, and they're very prideful of the fact that they've gotten their independence back, all three countries.
Another team will know what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
In this way.
And we understand that this is a completely new concept, and that's
Just the universal nature of the commitment
that's why
to
we're going to do it again.
public safety that we have as officers here, and that the officers in these other countries have. We all are all cut from that same cloth, and I think that's one of the things that I really took from it was, just this incredible opportunity for us to share what we have with them. And it's nice to be reminded of that universal nature of what we do.
Being able to walk away from that after that week, and having individuals come up to us at the end of the week and let us know that they had had training with Americans before, and they had a really bad taste in their mouth about Americans, that they thought we were arrogant, that we were selfish and conceited, and them coming up to us and say, you guys have changed our perspective on Americans. We want to reassess what we believe about you guys. Building lifelong friendships with those people that we're all still talking to this day, and the fact that we're now more vested in what's going on over there. So paying attention to the news and seeing what's going on with the Russian-Ukraine conflict, and knowing that is affecting them, it really runs it home a little bit more. It's kind of like having a friend with another department, something bad happens to that department, and you start to worry, you want to make phone calls. We're now fully vested with all four of those countries and what's going on with them.
I had the same guy tell me, just being American and thankful that we weren't jerks or arrogant. And then I had a female instructor come up to me and thank me and just tell me how nice it was being represented as another female instructor, because she expected, there was only a total of 3 females in the class, and she was not expecting a female instructor, so that was very important to her, and she was very happy. They're in the middle of some pretty violent conflict, and now they can protect their community if anything happens over there, and I feel just a little bit better knowing that my friends are a little bit more prepared.
I mean, what an honor for this agency and for this city, that the efforts that, starting with Officer Richardson and working together with U of L and everything that we've worked to develop that they brought to the table going to Lithuania. Just what an incredible honor that it was this group that got to represent that, that got to bring that forward. So I just think it just says a lot for where this department is and where we're going.